and welcome to Add More Zest. My name is Rebecca and it is time to continue dekitting my heaven and earth design and sorting out my spares. Sorry, it took me a minute then. I've just put a load of washing on the Maiden and brought the dehumidifier downstairs while the washing's on the Maiden. So I seem to be a little bit more scattered than normal. So this is the box we are sorting out today, while also sorting out dekitting my heaven and earth designs. But I did have a thought after last week's, and that is I still have diamonds in my heaven and earth design box that I was putting aside for my 15 colour heaven and earth designs. However, I'm no longer doing it with my spares, or primarily with my spares. So this box is no longer required. So I thought this is one that I could do with maybe moving over at the same time, maybe making this my squares to give away, or maybe using a combination of the two until I have passed them on to everybody and done that. So let me pull out all my diamonds there, because this is already getting pretty full. So what I'm going to do, I didn't bring in my other box. Okay, I'm going to go with all of these can go in here, because the things I'm thinking is I haven't checked if number 169, if I actually need any in my other one. But I haven't dekitted my other heaven and earth design, my old minis pot either. Maybe I should just do this right and bring them in as well. So I have cards here with DMC numbers. These are the ones that I needed extras from my big heaven and earth design project. Whereas if you know now, I don't need them anymore. So I started saving just the ones I needed for the 15 colour project. But I am now redoing that, primarily buying in the spares, buying in the diamonds, just to do it a different way. And because it's only 15 colours, you can notice the difference a little bit more. So what I will do, actually, let's do this right. I'm going to go and get my box that is 100s to 600s, because I have got some here that need checking, and I'm going to get my heaven and earth design case for my 15 colour heaven and earth design. Yeah, and we'll get this all done. I get caught up and then get the 700s to 900s done all in one. So bear with me. Okay, let's try this again. So this is the box that I sorted out and got all pretty last week. So if you saw me dekit my spares, I have room to move. It's nice, it's flowing, it's perfect. It's exactly how I want it. So I want to check these numbers here and check that what I have in here is either full or pretty full. See, that 169, it's half a bag. I do have more here, but to be honest, I think that's probably enough to continue on. There's nothing that I need a 169 for in my project right now. So as long as I have some, like 317, I have a fair amount. I do have a very, very chunky bag and a half full bag here, but I'm sure these will get topped up even more. What I'm really looking for is if any of these bags only have a really, really tiny amount in, then I will switch over, but they don't. 415 is actually pretty chunky, and that's it. So I brought this in for no reason, but that's all okay. At least I've done the check. I've done the check. I have enough in here that I'm happy to have a fair amount in my spares, or at least fair enough to continue collecting from here on in. So that box is good. Up to here does need to go in my giveaway box, but I'm also going to make this one my sort of giveaway box as well. So I'm trying to work out the easiest way to do this. So let's take out the rounds, because there's not a huge amount of them. I actually gave quite a lot of rounds away not that long ago. Let's take out all these small bottles that are mainly used as props. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoot these all over. Do you see how that slid over? I'm going to scoot those over and make this my squares to give away. So I am going to need to move these 600s over, because I've got to fit some in from over there. So let's move them. Again, I'm probably going to have to scoot some more over here as well. But what I want to do first is get these in. So I've got 169. And I like, even though I don't have individual cards for these, because I'm never going to have all of the diamonds to give away, I do want them in number order. So we'll take that out. Don't have any 200s, 300s. I have 317, which is there. 318, I already had actually creamed them off. So I must be collecting plenty of 318, because I now have even more. These also are going to need to move over. Let's see if I can do it that way. Is that going to work? Put the divider back in. It kind of did. Scoot them forward. 500s, I've only got one. Let's move the 400, oh, 400s no, because the next one's 400. So 414. So we've got 413. Then I want to fit in 414. Then I want to fit in 415. Let's put in 436. Is that now pretty full? Can we get 415 in? We can. Okay. So 400s, 500s, 600s. We did all of those in the last video. 700s is where we're up to. What I haven't done is dekitted this. So 169. So I'm dekitting my tubs for my Heaven and Earth design, because I am starting this next one afresh. 310. If you saw last week's, this is where my extra 310s go. And I just use the likes of one of these bottles to scoop them out if I need to send some on to anybody. So 317. I'm just going to put them all in here. For these, I may have to check some, but 317 for now, I know was one that I've already checked. 318 is also one that I already had bags of, so I'll get the one with the most room because these are all rather full. This is where things get a little bit complicated, and I am going to try and make it a little bit easier for myself, I think. 413. How many bags of that have I got? I've got one bag for it. Let's see if I can squeeze them in. It's definitely a squeeze them in when it comes to this spare storage. Sorry, this extras giveaway. I would rather squeeze them into a bag if I can. Just makes it easier to flip through. So 413, I'm going to have to move some of these back. Give it all breathing room. I reckon I'm going to end up flowing into this box at some point. 414, that bag's got room. 414. And then 415, which also has got room. And I have been taking all the stickers off. So I took all the stickers off my first case that I emptied last week, and I did Goo Gone on the tops of the bottles, get rid of any residue on the case altogether. Okay, 535. Now what I'm doing here, it's not in these spares. So what I am actually going to do is pull this box back up and see, do I have loads and they all go in here, or do I not have many? 535, this is how many I have. So let's pop these in and see what it looks like, because it's pretty full. No, that's still, if that's all I've ever collected, like I've not got any in here, it's not ideal, but I don't think it's worth creaming any off, which is sort of the rule I've taken, in creaming them off when they need them. 647, I do already have in here, which means I've already creamed some off. Though I don't think I'm going to fit more in there. So let's use this bag that I had extra and put in 647. The sticker was on the wrong side anyway. So let's turn that one round. This is where it's getting a bit bitty because I completely forgot about this last week. So 647. Let's move that one over. 648. I need to check that one out. 648. So in this one, that is like more than halfway full. So I am going to pop those into here. So now, yet again, I don't need that box. So let me move that one down there. And I want one for 648. Try and find where I put my bags. So 648. A couple of different shades in that one. And what I found with my Heaven and Earth Design Mini is because it was such low amount of colours, any difference where you were putting two shades of the same colour was more noticeable. Okay, so I have emptied all of those. What I'm going to do with these, this one I'll be doing today. Let me have a look what's best to do with these actually. Do I have all of these in here? So 762, I do. I have a bag of those. So 762, I'm just going to add them in with those. If I need any in my other spares, I will sort that when I get to it. I'm basically trying to eliminate this case from the equation because I don't want to be looking at too many different things while trying to do this sort of dekitting and sorting out. That's that one. So I have lots of, when I'm saving for a heaven and earth design, what I've done in the past is I've used a DMC pack and created a card for each number that I need to save, because it's easier when looking through, and I can keep a card for colours that I don't have if I need to. But I am changing things up. So 3, 8, 6, 5. And herein, this is what caused my problem with my other one. I don't know if you can see, but there are some that are more yellow and some that are more white. I also, with 5200, there's 2 different shades there as well. And because the painting only had 15 colours and wasn't like my big one, where when it had a bit of white, it had colours very similar to this around it, and it was a very busy picture. It actually caused a problem having this mix where it doesn't with a big one. So using your spares for a heaven and earth design, you very well can do. You do just have to be, in effect, a little bit careful with it. It doesn't work for all paintings. See, like, I've got even more 3865 here. And then I've got more 5200. Some of it is more pure whites, some of it is more mixed. This one is more pure white, so I'm going to pop it into that bag with this other one. Okay, so all of those that I had left in here have been able to go into this box. So I can take this case out of the equation. Now, these stickers, again, have been on for about 3 years. They're not our stickers that we print. These were actually done from a sticker sheet on Amazon well before the shop even existed. So they are a little bit sticky. So I will do it off camera, because who needs that tediousness on camera? But do rest assured, the last case that I've done, I've cleaned it all up with Goo Gone. It's actually on the shelf in the bedroom, out of the way. So what I want to do now I've realised I missed something and caught up with myself, is I want to try and sort this so that I can carry on with what I'm doing, but in a half organised fashion. It's another 5200. So they all fit in one row, that's nice. These bottles, I say, are mainly used to keep things propped up. But when they start falling down, they're not the easiest thing to deal with. So let's see if I can get these into the middle for now. I think I'm going to have to spread over to this box with the squares eventually. And let's use my pieces of foam board on either end, if I can get them to nudge over properly. There we go. So that gives me my guideline of roughly where I want this to be. It's not exactly 2 bottles, it's like 2 bottles and a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my rounds in here, so they're out the way until later. When I do my rounds, I can always scoot them over a row if I need to. But for now, they're going in here. And I'm going to put some more of these bottles, again, just to keep it upright. and to keep these somewhere. I do have a tub full of them as well. But for now, I'm just interested in keeping things rigid, a little bit more rigid, regimented. I'm going to keep these. I don't need these tabs anymore, but if I do another painting that I want to collect diamonds for, what I'll do is I'll turn them upside down and use the other end. So I don't want to just throw them. I'm also going to fit that bag of diamonds, and for now I'm going to try and use all these loose ones. Oh, what else did I have here? Ever Moment bags. They are for passing on diamonds if I just need a few. Oh, I've got some 3371. Okay, so that's actually an extra one. So, I'm trying to think whether to pop it in here. In fact, I will. I'll pop it in here. I know I've got loads of 3371 in my big Heaven and Earth design, but that's not this video. These are more cards, so I'm going to tuck those down with the others. And then we have stickers for round diamonds, so they need to go with the round diamonds, so they can tuck in that box. And then I have more square stickers, which is good because I'm running low, so I can use these square stickers for this box. That's the only other thing that needs to get out the road. Okay, so I have my Heaven and Earth design box with my extras for my small. I then have my giveaway diamonds box, which I am collecting stuff into. And I have the box we are going to sort today. As you can see, this one is definitely a fit to bursting one. It has quite a few bags. It has none of the plastic bottles for wiggle room. So I would really, really like to get this one down. Very much so. Because I feel it is not coping with the volume of diamonds very well. So I'm popping my lids underneath just to try and save some space on the desk because I need the case. So we started on this case the other day. I haven't goo-gone these yet. It's easier to just do the whole lot. But we will get this case emptied today because we're going for 700s to 900s. I'm enjoying doing a box a week. I feel like I'm making progress, but not too much that it's freaky. So 700 is the first one to dekit. I don't have many in here at all, and I don't have too many in here, so I can add these in. That's what I did as well, didn't I? Because it's been a week. Because I am not finishing, because I'm not taking the stickers off, I'm going to pull out the row of bottles. Okay, 701 is fine. 702, I don't need to dekit this one, but this bag is rather full. I am going to cream this bag off. Do I have any 702 already? No. So this is where my stickers start really coming into play. So it's a good job that I found some more. And because this is my 700s to 900s, and because I know that this box of diamonds always sort of shows signs of being too full a lot earlier than the rest of them, I'm going to be quite brutal with my clearing up. I am going to be checking these extra giveaway ones for my other Heaven and Earth design canvas before I go through the giveaway requests. So, you know, if I cream off too many, then it's not a problem. I am going to check. I'm going to do a mixture, I think. So for my Heaven and Earth Design Mini, I'm primarily going to buy the diamonds in. For my Heaven and Earth Design canvas that I just have the canvas, I'm going to do a mixture of the two. So if I only need a few diamonds, I'm going to get them from my spares. If I need a lot of diamonds, then I'm probably going to buy them in. So I don't have that colour variation on that canvas. I'm going to do a mixture. So yeah, I'm not worried about over unloading my spares and then having a problem in the future. I don't have any other plans for projects using my spares at the moment. I don't have anything in the pipeline. I have enough projects on the go that before I even think about doing another one, if I've already got to the point where I've got a bursting bag in my coming up to 6 years of diamond painting, then I'm sure within an extra 2-3 years of diamond painting, I will have collected even more. So I'm not feeling, you know, like I'm doing something that's a bit too drastic. So I say I'm gonna cream off more than I normally would, because this box is a box that struggles. And if it's struggling already, it's probably going to struggle again. It obviously has a lot of popular colours. So let's just cream off all those popular colours straight away. So we're on 712. I might need to be using this. I feel like it'll take a bit and all of a sudden this box will be able to breathe. Okay, oh, 718, that's actually one I need to dekit. I do have a few, and I have a few in here. So let's dekit these. I am half thinking about these. At the moment, I do only have one number in here that will go into this box, which is 762. So I'm ignoring it for the moment. I'll probably get more confused with it when it comes to the 3000s, but that's next week's problem. Okay, 720. This bag is full and flat. This pot's full, and I have a little bag with some extras. So they can all go in, and I'm going to cream some off. Say I'm being extra vigilant with creaming them off in this box. I don't want to be having to get my giveaway box every time I dekit. I want to just dekit straight into this box. And to do that, I need to lighten the load. Okay, let's get out my next row. So 725 is my next one. 721, very, very light. 721, 722, I can see the top. If I can see the top clearness of the bag, then I'm not worried about decanting anymore. 725, they can go in. So even with those in, I've got a really, really small, you know, smallish amount of diamonds. I just need to get rid of some of these further on, preferably as soon as possible, so that these can start actually fitting in the box. 726 is the same, just a few. And I will go through my logbook spares, but again, I'm going to do that at the end of each 100. I knew a diamond went somewhere. I think I'm just going to do it in a run at the end of each. There is a lot of 700 and 900 numbers in DMC, so it does take a while. Right, 728. I have half a bag and I have half a pot. This would fit in here, but it would be full to bursting again quite soon. So I am just going to transfer them straight to the giveaway. Like, let's not make my bags too full. Now, I know I did fill a bag that high in my first box, but I have loads of wiggle room in that box. I don't have it in this box. I have to be ruthless in this box. It just can't cope with me not being. I also want to move, scooting over my rows just so that I, again, can just have breathing room for as long as possible. I forgot to put the sticker on. It's a good job I did that. So 728, let's actually put the sticker on. By the way, last week I did check my 600 rounds box and it had the square diamonds in it. So it was just a matter of the bags got mixed. Probably when I was doing my last sort out, which I am so surprised nobody caught it, because normally you guys would point it out. But yeah, it didn't get noticed in that video. So I have now fixed that. Okay, 729, even when filling up with these, we're still only half full when the bag's open. I've got a couple stuck in the bottom of the pot. So 729. See, look, we are just too full further back. I kind of feel like I should go creaming off a load, but yeah. Let's just do that. Have I got any that I can? 797. I just need to cream a few to give this a little bit of room to move. And I feel like it can't move. And it's like, what else can I do? So I'm doing this a little bit backwards. Thing is, I've got this bag out. I've also got some here. Are they going to fit in that bag? They will at a push. Have I got a bag of them in here? 797? No, I don't. Okay, so this is a matter of trying to make it work. Could do a second bag, but I kind of feel a little bit of cajoling. Tend to have to shrink the sides down, make it a bit more stocky. They will fit in. So this is a bit backwards, but let's see if we can make this work a bit better. Is that going to give me any wiggle room? No. Okay. Am I going to have to take a load out? Maybe that's what I do. So 790s I've taken out. I'm propping them up on the side in order. Let's see if that will give me enough wiggle room. Now, I know quite a few people have actually taken these out. These like double bars with the numbers, and actually made it, put the numbers on the bookmarks, and it works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that for now, because I do really like these bigger blocks. And I do like it when I have this bigger block here, because when I'm stood here looking at 700s, I can see it. But when I take this block out, I actually can't see it over the top of the box until I lean, but because this is 700s, 800s and 900s, I think I can cope. So I'm going to take this out to give me wiggle room and see if the combination of things can make this work and get them to a point where I can manage with them. So I might not need that now. Now I've got some angles to work on. So 730, 731, that's an okay bag. 732, I don't have many of those in here, but I do just have a few. We'll pop those in. 732, 733. That's actually not too bad, and the ones I have to put in them is a tiny amount. So I'm happy with that. It's not a number that's screaming at me I have to dekit it loads. I do have the side of my box, this side of the box does keep lifting up. Like the paper's lifting up, so I'm just sticking that down. Stop it being annoying. Okay, 738 is definitely a full one and a full pot. So 738 is having a new home. See, sometimes how much I sort of decant my spares can depend on how ruthless I'm feeling at the time, but it can also depend on how much I know I'm likely to fill something back up. So like clearing out more than half of my 310s, if they were in bags, is something I am more than happy to do, because I know, and you guys who've been diamond painting for anything longer than 5 minutes probably also know that 310 is in most diamond paintings. Not all. It's kind of exciting when it isn't, but it is in most diamond paintings. You often will have, sorry, I'm just trying to 38. You often will have 310 or 939 in a painting. So creaming off more than half of those is never going to be a problem unless you're currently in the middle of a project. It's not likely that needs loads of 310s like my Heaven and Earth design did, my big project. Unless you are in the middle of one of those, you know that, you know, if you're planning on doing something in the future, you will collect a load more by then. You will have collected loads more diamonds, especially loads more 310 by the time you're going to do it. Right, 740, that bag is like, I'm happy with how full that bag is. In fact, I could probably cream a little bit off. I don't want to add them. So I'm being quite ruthless, especially when it's a colour that I recognise the number of from being on many previous paintings. I've had it on quite a few. I can see by my 3 little pieces of dryer sheet in here that it is a popular one in the Paint Gem Minis, which means I'll have loads more. And I do have, at the moment, far too many. I'm working on shrinking it down. Diamond paintings that, you know, push comes to shove, I will take a few diamonds out of a box if it means I can finish a painting over not finishing it. So there are diamond painting groups. Got Diamonds and then Your Country. So like Got Diamonds UK is a group that you can ask somebody in your own country if they have, you know, 100 of a colour, and quite often you only need about 10, but you can ask if they have those diamonds. And because it's within your own country, it's a lot easier for people to post quickly. It's a lot more cost effective for people to post quickly, and they get to you a lot quicker. So there are always options to get diamonds. But doing this will make dekitting for me so much nicer, and it just looks pretty. Okay, this one definitely needs creaming off. I also need to get my next row of colours out before I forget that I still have ones to do. I do keep checking if I already have a bag. At the moment I can see that the next bag I have is 761, so I am okay for a bit. I say I'm creaming off fairly decent chunks in this box especially. I probably will in the next box as well, but more so those that start with a 3/8, because that's the ones I have gazillions of. Is the ones that start with 3/8. They properly need creaming down. Okay, 743. I'm going to get rid of some of those as well. These haven't been in my Heaven and Earth design, but they definitely need shrinking down if I'm going to have any hope of fitting these ones that are over here back in this box. I want the selection of numbers more so than I want the quantity of individual numbers. I want a small amount of each. Because if you think, even that I've creamed off, if you think of those small 200 bags, there's probably a good couple of thousand in there. Which should be more than enough to finish a painting. Otherwise, it's probably a painting that has arrived with a missing number. And in that case, because you've not started it, you're more than likely to contact the manufacturer, get them to send you the missing number, and actually wait to start it. The spares are for when you are itching to finish a painting and can't. Okay, 746, that's all fine. 747, I'm going to cream that one off. Again, this is more so because it is the 700s, and I want as much space as possible. I think I used to have boards in the back of the 800 that gave me wiggle room. But they've long gone. Long gone. So I'm not doing a particular rhyme or reason to this one. It would be nice to sort of have a weight and say, okay, that's great. But if I ended up with a weight for each colour and said, okay, that's the weight I'm having, no more, and filled them up to that weight, every time I dekitted then I'd have to have 2 boxes. So I'd have to be going, no, that one's full, put it into this box every single time. And I'm creaming off this on the basis that I want to be able to continue to use just this spares box and no other until I need to give it a bit of a monster overhaul again, which I'm hoping will be a couple of years down the line. I won't be dekitting, I will just be creaming off the ones that are full, and it should be a nice, quicker process, hopefully. Let's see how full this makes this one. As long as the bag's still, yeah, that's no more than half full when it's open. So we'll stick with that for now. That's 760. And don't forget we've got 762 over here. 761. It's not bursting. So that is quite a full, oh actually I do have a bag here. That's not bursting, it's quite flat. So if I didn't have this, that would do. Because I already have an extra bag, in fact I have 2 of them for this, I am going to cream a few off. It wasn't worth making a bag, but it's worth shifting a few for a bag that's already made. Okay, so 761 is done. 762. Look at the state of the amount of those. So this is this one here. Can you see this one is full to bursting? This one is really thin. So I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to move this one into my pass along box, which is getting pretty full for them as well. And I'll take that card out, put it down the side. This Heaven and Earth design box now I'm actually done with for today. The next number that I have in here is 3072, so that's next week's. So let's bob the lid on that. Let's not add to anything else. Okay, 772. I didn't have that one. And I don't have many of them either. So let's add those in. I even have a hitchhiker. I will be updating my logbook in a bit. My logbook will just have a little H next to that one. 775. Again, this one isn't too full. So to be honest, they'll fit in there quite easily. There's a couple of different shades in there. I know this freaks some people out, but I will be reaching for these spares if and when I have a painting that is short of a few just before I finish it. So because of that, I would tip them out into a tub and pick the ones that match the best and use those. Okay, 779 is actually a weird one. I have 2 extra bags here, but this is all I have in my spares. So I'm going to tip these into there to fill up my spares a little bit. What symbol was this one? Oh yeah, it was used a fair amount. And this looks like this is a colour that was gifted to me. This looks like a colour that I've saved up because I've written that label. So I'm going to leave that at just that. It's not worth me tipping over from other bags. But I'm going to put these 2 in there for passing along. 780. Only have a few here and only have a few in here. So we'll add those in, flatten it out as much as possible. 781. Now that's hardly got anything in it. 782. It is half full. I don't have an extra bag. So let's see how full this makes it. Oh, not bad. Hopefully. Hopefully not bad. I'm nearing the end of the box and I've got to get the 7 9s back in yet. Okay, 783. I do have an extra bag here, so I'm going to cream a few more off. It's not quite as flat as I got 782 down to. So let's add a load into there and get it to halfway so that once I flatten it out, it takes a lot less space. And then I drop this bag. So let's get those in there. Okay. That diamond nearly got a last chance warning to get itself in there then. Right, that row's full. So I've filled 2 rows already in my giveaway pot. Okay, 791. I don't have any more to add. I don't have any more in there. So that's a fair amount. 792. That is borderline. How big's that when I open it up? Okay, when I open that up, that is well more than halfway. So I am going to cream some of these off if I don't end up dropping them everywhere. When it's open halfway, when it's then flattened out, is a nice thin amount. And 792, or the 79 higher numbers, 7 nines, the blues, I do recognise quite a bit. And it's not just the Heaven and Earth design. Okay, 793 is currently empty. So we will pop these back into my spares. Flatten that down. See, that's not quite a full pot, and you can fit a couple of thousand in there in one of those pots. So 793. 794, again, very small amounts. Let's bob these in with them. Nice to be able to fill up a little bit more. 796, flat, but we also have extras. How big is this when I open it up? Not more than halfway. So 796. We shall do the pot and a little cream. Little cream, little sugar. Get it to, again, about halfway when it's open. Ooh. Let's just throw that away. Okay, so that's my 796. This is my extras. 796, and that's my pot going back. 797 we did before, so we creamed that, trying to give it a little bit of room, but this is still pretty full. This is what makes me wonder if I'm going to have to go into an extra box. Okay, 798. I need to cream that one off. I don't have any more 7 nines in my Heaven and Earth design. 798. I want to take some of those out. It's that one that looks a bit puffy to me, but it's actually not. It's just the angle that I'm at. It's amazing how I can take a bag that is quite flat and looking, you know, not overly stuffed, and end up with 2 bags that look full by the time I've finished from 1 bag. Anyway, 798 in there. And I already don't have the back piece in here. 798. We're moving, but we're not wiggling. 799, definitely. I already have a bag here, but I think I'm going to end up filling up more than that. So, 799. Let's get even more out. And I've gone through all those loose bags, and I've only done the 700s. So 799. Okay, full. And that is, it moves, it's better, it's non-ideal. So I may have to look at scooting some over into different boxes when I've finished, or I may look at keeping it like this for a little bit but going into a fourth box later, which I'm kind of trying to avoid. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, for 800s, oh, see, 800s has more wiggle room. I actually have 3 of these boards there. And I've still got the board at the front. It did used to have pots in the 800s. So maybe I will just have to move a couple of 700s over and just not have them in nice straight rows. But that's fine. Okay. 800s. It's like this big epic sort out. 1 row down. I'll need some more bags, so I'm going to pull these back out of there. And we're going in for the 800s at 800. That's borderline. Laziness is going to say we'll leave that as it is. 801. Well, it's not full to the tippy top. And there's not a full pot. Oh, that is pretty full now though when I've straightened it out. So, 801. Now, this is the first time, I think, like I've made my spares pretty, and I did sort of cream some off when I put my small DMC stickers on. But if I remember rightly, that was a good couple of years ago. I'm sure it was a good couple of years ago that I did that, making my spares look pretty, and sort of went through and put, as I say, all these little labels on. And in with that, I did remove a few of the sort of really jam-packed diamonds, especially when I moved my spares to have my squares and rounds in separate boxes and not in the same one. I sort of did all of that together, if I remember rightly. But I don't think I've had a sort out since. And I actually do a fair amount of diamond painting. So I think this should be a yearly thing for me. Not so much the dekitting, but just the going through and going, okay, I've got too much of that, I've got too much of that, and move them over. And what I've also realised that I have forgotten to do is do my logbook for the 700s. I think that is because I should have taken a brew stop. So let's, okay, 813 is done. So far I'm filling up the 800s rather than taking any out, but I'm sure it will get better. Let me get my spares list. So for the 700s, I know these two that I have H's by are now in here because I have dekitted all my 700s. So let me get my rubber or eraser, as other countries like to call it, and I put the little H's in pencil because I knew that I would be changing that up. So I'm changing my H's to now be in my spares. But what I do like checking, and I did this last time, is anything that does not have a tick and says I don't have any, to double check that I don't have any. Because sometimes when I've popped diamonds away, I might have put some away and forgot to mark it off. So 727, no, I don't have any. 776 and 777, I don't have any. I actually don't have those in rounds or squares, so maybe it's a number that companies don't use. But some of them, I've found that it appears on some diamond colour lists and not on others. Okay, so 700s wise, that was it. That was it. There is a few 800s that apparently I don't have, but we'll check those when I've finished the 800s. So where were we? 813 I've just done. 814. Now for 814, I am just going to take a few out of here because I find it easier than using the bookmark for this process. The bookmark is so easy for dekitting, but for this process, because I'm going through every single one, I prefer that gap. 814, I do actually have a spares bag, and I have a very small bag here. So I'm going to tip what's left over into this bag. It's still halfway. So I'm going to tip the leftover pot into there. But I'm going to put this into here, into my giveaway. 815. Again, not many in here. But I have those. Get out. There is just the odd one that really likes to get stuck. They've been there 4 years. They're comfy. Comfy, comfy. This bottle is actually a bottle that catches and will just keep spinning. I should change that one out, really. Okay, 815. In fact, do I have one of the exact same bottles in here? I do. There are, oh no I don't, it's not the same. There are actually a couple of different types of bottles. And that one is the same type. It's a slight different colour though. I do actually have some of these specific same ones. So I'll have to try and remember to change that. Okay, 816, we're good. 817, I do have an extra bag here and a bit of a bag here. And that one is pretty full and that one is full. So let's lighten the load. That just had a few trash bits in it. And then shift those over. Lighten the load quite a bit on that. Oh well. Let's see if we can get that back to close. So I've got 2 fit to burst in 817s. And this will still make pretty much a full bag. Plenty of room. Okay, 818, not wow, but not awful. 819, awful. Full to bursting. Sorry, what I'm trying to do now is I'm running out of space in here. So that's 3 8s. That's 3 7s. Okay, they're 3 8s. I'm going to put these 3 8s in with these Heaven and Earth design ones that I'm going to be moving about for the next box. That's 3799 and these are 3756. So I'm just going to try and squeeze in a few just to give me wiggle room in here, because what I think is going to happen is when I've filled this, which I don't think will be that long, I will move over into this box. So I've moved a few of them over, and next time when we do the 3000s, which is going to be a pretty epic one, because the 3/8, there's loads of numbers as well. So in this box, the 800s is probably the lightest one of the three. The 900s, if you can already see, is already bursting for me, which is what makes me think I may have to go into another box with them. But I sort of want to get them the best I can in their individual boxes. And then if I need to go into another box, then I will be able to work that out at the end. Okay, 820, I definitely need to take some off. That one's pretty full, so let's just do a new bag. 820. This is that symbol that I did a few of them right at the top of my Heaven and Earth design. It's the letter G. I did a few right at the top in the star. And then I don't think I did the last, like, 3 of the diamonds till right near the bottom. If it wasn't the last row, it was the next to last row. It seemed to loiter there, you know, egging me to finish it off at a low number of like 2 or 3 for the whole painting. It's the only drawback, I suppose, to the chart is that you can actually see the numbers that are left. So when you get a low number right at the beginning, you can get excited that you're going to finish that number soon. 2 meters later, I get to finish it. Right, 823. It's a number we all know. If you know, you know. We might look for and dread 310 and 939, but 823 isn't far behind, you know. You know, we get excited when there's no 310, and then we realise there's 939, and that's why we go, oh. But believe me, 823 is not far behind that. It's the other dark blue. It's the forgotten dark blue. Right, 824 is fine. 825 is too full. So 825. So most of this is creaming off. But I am getting dekitted at the same time. And it's actually a really nice way to do a dekitting. And I'm sure I will have paintings in the future that I can dekit at the same time as sorting out and spring cleaning my spares. And it'll be sort of a nice little trade-off between the two. Right, 826, that's half full, a nice amount full. That is half full again. So let's just put it straight in a bag. Put it straight to pass on. 826. This definitely takes longer than I think doing this, but I'm kind of having fun. Okay, 827, bag's not too full, pot is full. So again, I am just going to transfer straight into a bag. I don't need that many. And I'm sure that come in the future I am going to do more projects with spare diamonds. I really enjoyed doing that big Heaven and Earth design with spare diamonds. I just don't think it works with every Heaven and Earth design image, and it just didn't work with my mini. but it definitely works with some. So I am looking forward to thinking of new things to do with my spares once all the other ideas that are rattling around in my head have been implemented. 832. Oh yeah, I should get these in. There's not too many of them. See, this is a normal dekitting. Enough space to put them in. They don't feel bursting. It's a nice way of dekitting. So much nicer. Right, 833. Ah, look. Just a few. Top them up. And they're nice. Nice amounts. 834, same again. There's only a few. I've probably pinched whatever I had to move to my Heaven and Earth design, and now I'm moving the rest back. But even so, still a good couple of hundred if they're needed. And I'd rather have that amount of them all than have some that are just, you know, too full for words. 838. It's borderline. Let's just move it. 838. While we're putting the work in, let's just say that bag has enough. And maybe this is something that I do when dekitting, maybe diamond paintings that have loads of extra diamonds. I'm thinking when I used to have, that doesn't go in there. I'm thinking when I used to have Ever Moment canvases, like the diamonds that they end up left over are like huge amounts. That's where most of this big rook in here came from. One Ever Moment painting. Maybe when I do have a painting that I'm dekitting that has loads of diamonds left, maybe even one of my future Heaven and Earth design when I've bought the diamonds and can't count, maybe that's when I do another sort of spring clean and just do it every time I have a really big painting. Okay, 844. That is a bit full. I do have a bag with some in, so let's transfer a few over while we're here. Make things easier for the future. In fact, I can probably get away with some more. It's fuller than I thought. And the ones that fly away can stay flown away. Okay, 868, 869. Just a little few. Top those up. Okay, so that was 869, 890. I had to change my battery. It's one of those filming days, so I went and got a brew. So 890. I am full and full. So let's move those over. Last row of this case. Got some sorting out to do afterwards. Let's see. Oh, that's a good amount. Let's get those in there. Let's get my bag to take them all. You will take them all. Do as you're told. Okay, 890 and then 891. That one's fine. So let me pull these last few out. Not as many on this last row and nowhere near all of them over here. But now I'll add in the bags that I took out. It actually works quite well doing it this way. So 893. I only have a few, so let's bob those in and get those away. 894, Again, I've definitely found the bulging culprit for the 800s. It's nearly the last one. It's this 898. I can already see the bag that I have in there is busting. 895 does not have a lot. So let's get those away. So I've just gone and had a brew. And if anybody saw, I just posted on Facebook because I had a quick look at the Diamond Art Club new releases before. And I was like, I like to have a scan. I was like, oh, like a couple, but, you know, nice. But I was willing to leave. And then Dreamer Designs popped up and one's made it to my basket. I've not yet checked out. I've come to finish the rest of this video and then I will try and decide if I want to go and check out. But I also need to film a little update to add on to the end of my Whip and Waffle because White Christmas is not coming out on Sunday as I expected. They've had a little technical glitch, so it's going to be next week. So I need to give a new update. Right, 898 now has plenty of room to grow, which is good because that is another number that I recognise as being a big one. And then 899, that one's fine. So I have quite a bit of room in my 800s, especially considering I've taken out some of those at the back. So I think I will move just a couple. Now I may have to reshuffle this and actually move some 900s over instead. But for now, they've both got a little bit more room. We'll see how I go with the 900s. But what I will do is I will straight away take out a wad. Can you see some of those? Take out a wad of 900s so that I can, straight from the beginning, I can actually move. In my giveaway box, my 3000s are getting a little bit, I've not got much room for any more. So I'm going to move the 3000s out so that I'm only left at the moment with my 900s, which is what I'm about to work on, and we'll see how full we end up with this box. But let's start. Top of the shop, 900. I do have a few here, though it's not full to the top when it's closed. So this is another borderline one. Whether I should take some out or not. That's fairly flat. It's not a number that I recognise as being in there loads. So, but 902 definitely is. And I do already have, in fact, I'm just going to take these few bags out because we'll get through them. So 902, I have hardly any in there, but I do have a full extra bag here, and I have a pretty full bag here. And this is a number that I recognise as being fairly popular. Not just my Heaven and Earth designs, and it's not in every painting at all, but I do end up with a fair few of them as extras. 904 is looking fine. 905, I actually don't have many of them, so I think that might be a bit like 900. It's not got too full to be worth transferring over. And that is another case emptied. I do need to take some more of these out the back. They're not lying flat enough for my liking. So another case done. I will take all the stickers off those before I put it away. And then I want this one. So 900, oh goodness me, we have quite a few. We have 4 rows of 900s to get through. We also have a load of diamonds in here. So what I did a while ago for my Heaven and Earth design is I did take out, and I took them out of this Heaven and Earth design box, all the diamonds that I had for this project and put them together, put them in these cases. So I'm pulling out the ones that are 3000 because I don't need them this time. And then we have, that's a 3000. We have a load of 938 already and some 936s and 939s. So let me bob those to the side because I don't need those yet. And let's get through these lower 900s first. We've got 906. Actually, I don't get through to 936 until the end of the next row. 907. That's a fairly decent size bag, and that one is full. So we will just transfer straight over. I don't have any already in there. The number I'm starting with here is actually 939, which is quite an easy number for me to remember to start paying attention to that when I get to 939. Because you've already heard me talk about it in this video. 909. And I've just realised I forgot to update my logbooks for my 800s again. Okay, I'm going to do 800s and 900s at the end because I'm just going to keep doing it. So I will do both of them at the end. 910. See, these are all pots that I only have a little bit in the bottom, or at least all these greens are. And I don't think I needed many of these. Looking at the symbols, I didn't have many of these on my Heaven and Earth design either. Like it wasn't that they were the most popular green that I did. Some of the 600s were. Oh, let me just dismiss the doorbell that's popping up. It's popping up with a camera image of my front door on my watch. Okay, 912. So nice little regular dekitting for a moment. Quite a few that are just topping them up a little bit, but not ending up with too many, which is kind of nice. Nice to do a regular. Okay, 915. That's my fullest pot, but my bag is nowhere near full. So we'll bob those in. I still flatten that down quite a lot and still have some wiggle room. 917. Again, another one of the same. Plenty of room. 917, 918. Another one. I'll still be able to fit in what I've got. I only recognise these numbers more so because of the Heaven and Earth design. It's not one that I recognise loads from paintings. So that's that row done. Loads quicker when I'm just dekitting like normal compared to sorting out as well. 919. Borderline. How full is it when I put them in? No, it's not too bad. That's a bit like the 900s as well. It's like, is it too full? I'm probably going to think it is by the time I get to the end of the 920s. The rate I'm going. fitting them all in, but I do think I may have to scoot some over to the 800s. Might be the way to go. Because while I'm not filling too many of these bags to bursting, I do feel like they're getting, say, not full to bursting, but they are getting full as in they're like filling up the space actually kind of nicely, but maybe a bit too nicely. Oh, I don't want that one for a start. Is that going to fill it up too much? I've only moved a couple of numbers over. No, we've still got room. Okay, where were we? 9, 2, 1. I'm conscious that I've still got to fit all these back in. And while I will have some of these that I can cream off, there doesn't look to be, like there looks to be a few, but I'm filling them up as much as I'm creaming them off. Especially when I end up with a bag there. But like, as I say, these aren't too full, they're just kind of nice full. Maybe it is going to be the answer that maybe the answer is going to be that I need to spread over boxes or get another box. We shall see. Right, 922, 924. I actually don't have any, that's why the bag scooted underneath, disappeared a little bit. 926 is okay, 927, 928, 930. Still got plenty of room and I only have a little bit in the bottom of here. And I've just spotted that my bags have got mulled up in there. I actually have 931 here. So 930, 931, I have this. I also do have some extras already, and this pot is full. So I'm going to pop that in there, and then I'm only going to cream off just a few. I don't feel like it needs a load, but I do think while I have this bag, while I have a bag, I will use the bag. If I can get this bag to shut. And that's when I normally say that is well too full. Or in my opinion it is for the likes of these boxes. But for the purposes of giving away, I don't mind them being fuller, because then I can just transfer over whatever is needed for people. So 932 is done. 934, that's a nice bag. That is a fairly full amount. So let's transfer those over. 934. We'll pop those into a giveaway bag. 934. No, that one. 935. Yeah, that bag's kind of nice, but let's move these over. There's not a huge amount of these left, but I think it would tip that bag into being too many. So we'll move them over. 935. Okay, 936. I actually have hardly any in here. I do have an extra bag here, and I have that in the tub. So I think rather than make any potential extra work for myself, I will pop 936 into there, it's lower than it could be, but these that were passed on to me, I will pop them in to pass on to somebody else. 9. Okay, so I need my next row out because we're still on 900s. 937. I actually don't have any. 938. I don't have many in here or here, but I do have all of these. So let's pop these in my normal bag. Okay, that's still quite a low amount. So if I did actually run out of these completely, then I may be a little bit upset. So I'm going to transfer just a few. I'm still keeping it low, but I am going to transfer a few and see if I can get these to fit in here. Are you going to fit? Have we got any more that I can move over? Trying to squeeze again. And this is partly because if I can get this to finish at 900s, just by squeezing them over, it'd just be nice and even when I am looking for diamonds to pass on to people. To have up to 900 in one box and 3000s in another. So let's make that our 938. 939. Extra, bursting, extra, extra. We know that 939. Now if I wasn't fussed about my labels, I probably would keep that maybe in this box. But because I have my pretty printed labels on my spare storage, not my written labels, because frankly they're prettier, I am going to transfer diamonds out. I've done quite an extreme transfer of 939 because I know I will be dekitting 939 loads. So I would much rather shed those now than have to rearrange my spares box very soon after. Okay, 943. I actually don't have any. I only have what's in here. So that is pretty much a full pot. So 943, 945. I'm keeping half an eye on what I've got down here. 945, that's borderline. I don't have any more to add, so we will leave that one for now. 946. I've only got a few. They'll fit. They will fit with loads of room. Okay, 947. Again, don't have too many and they will fit without making it excessive. So we'll bob those in. 948. I don't have. 950. 950. Again, probably a borderline one. 951 is fine. 954. Can't even see the bottom of it. 955. I only have a few to add to that one. Get out. Okay, 956. Nope. 957. 958. I do have a full pot here, but I have hardly any in this bag. And that's still very flat once I flatten it out. Okay, 959 I do have a bag for. And I have what I'd call a nice-ish amount in here. So I will empty this whole pot into this bag. And that makes that one a lot fatter. I think I'm going to struggle to get my 900s in here. Okay, 961. That's a nice bag. That's a full pot. So I'm going to go straight to a new bag for that one. 961. Let's get those transferred over. No, it goes in there. Come on, fit in. I don't think I'm going to get away with... maybe. Keep trying to squeeze bags over. I don't mind if this doesn't look as pretty. Okay, 962 is fine. 963. I don't have any more to add. That's not too bad. Okay, 964. I only have a few. So 964. Oh, I need to put my card in. Now this is where I'm going to struggle because I did take out loads of these. And I'm coming up to the likes of 996. This is what I kind of didn't want to happen with my spares. Let's see how we go. Okay, 996. I think I'm going to make them fit for now. Because I do still have another box to sort, and it may be that I can shuffle a few one way and a few another way, but I won't know until I've sorted them all. Okay, 967 is fine. 970. See, I actually am as much as I'm taking out loads of them, I am sort of adding when I'm topping up other bags that are really low. I'm sort of adding just as much. Okay, 971 is fine. 972, I've got a full bag. So I'm going to keep that one, but I'm going to ditch this one into a bag. I don't know if you can see it. This is my wad of 900s to still get back into here. And that's what's making me think I'm still going to be bursted. But it may be that I can still keep 3 boxes. I just need to shuffle around in 3 and not have to ditch completely. Okay, 973. Or it may be that I just have to go into 4. And in which case, I need to find these people I need to start sending out diamonds to people, because this would be my 4th box, because it's the same pattern. And that would mean keeping my rounds in 2 boxes. Okay, 975 is fine. Let's see, 976. Perfectly small amount, but then I do have a full pot, which is perfectly reasonable to go into a bag. Doesn't make the bag too thick, gives the bag room, but takes up more space in my box, and therefore means I'm running out even further. Okay, 977, I do need to ditch some of those. That is too full. Doesn't help that I'm also getting tight on the space in here as well. Makes me feel like I'm fighting both boxes for space. And I know it will all sort itself out when I'm finished. But I need to be able to pause it for a week until I can do the rest. So here we go, 986. Only got a few. And I can actually fill it with what I have left, but it's going to take more space. It may be that I have to, the cards. See, this is why I have the little divider at the front, especially when if I don't have this big divider. I have the little one, this little one, because it stops them getting caught against the front and means I can read them. So I am definitely going to have to do some jiggling. There is no way I can keep these as they are and have room to breathe. So what I'm going to try to do now is get them in comfortable enough until I have finished and can shuffle across all the boxes and then decide if I need an extra box. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take that out. I'm going to keep it because I do like them. But I am going to just do this so that I can hopefully make these a little bit more manageable while I'm finishing up sorting out. So I'm going to switch, excuse my head. So I'm going to switch these to the thin ones at the front. So I'm actually moving an 800 over, but just the one. And then see how many of these I can get over. As I say, they're not the easiest to flip through. I don't want those two. I want to see if I can get away with one of those in. But I just want to be able to put any kits away that I need to. I don't actually think I need to put any away before I'll have done the second box. But I just want them to sit as nice as they can until I've done the last box and I can have a sort out across the two. So now I'm on the last of the numbers. I only have one more to dekit. I'm just checking for any others that are too full, and so far there's not. There is now. 995. 995 and 996. Should have known. Okay, so 995. Maybe I do need to go to bookmarks to divide up my numbers. We shall see. We will do that. I will do the last box next week and then I will see where I'm at. Do you know what? 995. I'm going to tip out a few more than I normally would because 995 and 996 are very popular. Very popular diamonds. Okay. So 995 is in. That's actually 3371, so I'll put that in that what is now chaos to sort out later. 996, this is my extras, this is my actual, and I have a full pot. So, full pot, not required. You can go in there. And I want to cream off my stash ones. And in fact, let me seal this bag before I try and get that back in the box. There we go. Okay. So that is not a perfect fit. It is popping these up, but all the 900s are together. This is not ideal, as in I don't have my dividers between the hundreds. I have just 800 at the top here. 900s, I have no idea where they start. But they are all sitting down and nice enough until I do my complete check, which may be at the end of next week. It may be the week after, before I start my spares. It will really depend, because this box has taken me a long time, and I expect the next box to take me a long time, because the 3/8, there's loads of them. However, there is a little bit of more space at the beginning of the box, but the 3/8 may push over. So that box can go back on the shelf. This box I probably won't bring back out again, because that's just full. That's just full up to the 900s for diamonds to share with others. Unless, of course, I need the box. This is now my mess box. But I'm going to put my 7, 8 and 900 dividers in here, because ideally I would like those back in. Personally, I like them back in. I would like these in either end of the box, because it gives me wiggle room later on. But for now, they're going to sit in here until I can see what I've got later. I'll also pop those bags back in. Oh, what I do need to do, and those stickers, because this is the box I'm going to be grabbing next week. This one can sit there now. It's not needed for next week, but that one is. I do want to check my logbook diamonds. I've just spotted my eraser there. So I need to do 800s and 900s. So for 800s, I actually don't have any that I've got marked down. Or did I do the 800s? I don't know. I'm going to check them again. So 830, it says I don't have any of those. Is that right? It is right. And it also says I don't have any 868. 868. That's correct. Okay, so my 800s are all good. For my 900s, I've got a couple that were in my Heaven and Earth design, which is that one. And then this one. That's a 3000. So the only ones it says I don't have is 924. 924, correct. I have it in rounds but not in squares. 937, again I have it in rounds but not in squares. And that's it. Which is why these are looking as full as anything. There's a lot of numbers in them, but there's also not a lot of numbers I don't have. Then again, in squares, there's not a lot of numbers I don't have across the board, to be honest. Okay, so logbook's updated. That can go back. I will take the numbers off up to the 900s on this case, but I'll save the cleaning until the end of the next one. Put my little short bookmark back in. But yeah, that is the organising, as much as it is a bit more chaotic this week. But we have another box primarily sorted, creamed off, but I definitely need to do something to have a really good workflow for future. And it may be, I say, that I move into a fourth box. Time will tell. We shall see. But I am going to go and remove some stickers. Clean up another case. so that the case can go back in to my bedroom on my craft bookcase as a nice empty case ready to use. I can pop all of these back until next week, and yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Please do put your comments down below. What do you think? Do you think I'm going to have to go into a 4th box, or do you think I can make 3 work? Or do you think I can make 3 work for a little bit, but then I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and go for 4? Let me know. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.